Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And we have the TEMU ELC Even 90. This is the BatChat 12T, which is the Even 90, slightly larger, almost as stealthy cousin. If you don't have an Even 90, but you have the game and you can get a Tech Tree tank unlocked, this is about as close as you can get. It's not quite as small, not quite as stealthy, but it is an auto loader, and it is quite small and quite stealthy. And man, we just really piled on in here. We went well forward. This is a very interesting position. I don't think I've really seen many people take it. And it is especially bold, I would say, against an enemy ELC Even 90, because I think if the Even 90 come blundering through here, which they might do, we could be in a little bit of trouble. And boy, we have chosen the sparsest possible bush, and we might be poking out there. Oh, maybe you noticed. It's hard to tell. All right. Ooh, tree down. All right. There's the ELC. So he's made a bit of a blunder. I don't know why he's there. I guess they noticed that there was nobody in the corner, so they thought they would push. And if they can find that ELC Even 90 and get him dead, or find shots on him and get him dead. So we're going to reposition. It looks like I haven't seen this game. I don't know how it ends up. This is Eric Glass from our clan, GFLC, and he said he had a pretty good game and thought he made good decisions. So this is very interesting so far. Their mediums have been very... Oh boy. Oh geez. Don't see me. Oh, we're seen. We've been made. This is a very... Oh, that hurt. That hurt. And now the other Barask is coming at us. I feel like we don't survive this, but we probably are. Chicane. One last shot on the way out. The Even 90 took some damage. All right, we survived that. So good decision running away. I would agree with that right there as far as decision making. Whoa! I may have bailed on that position a bit earlier. Let's just talk about that for a second. You noticed, obviously, as we were talking, a little plus on the map here, that the enemy had taken this southeast corner and pushed up, and you were alone and unafraid in the middle. They see that too. So once they are able to push across, and they're not taking any shots across, you may very well have this happening. The Barask zooming across to grab this bottom part, and you were here in the middle. So I think I'd have bailed out of that a little bit earlier, just by looking at the relative positions on the map and sort of projecting what I thought the enemy team would do or know. And oftentimes you want to project the worst case scenario in those types of situations. All right, so we're going to use this bush for spotting. Maybe we can help these guys keep from getting overrun, and we have lost a significant amount of vision and map control. 122, don't do that. Okay, he's scouting by fire right there. He's finding out if he gets lit, and probably did. There's no artillery, so at least he can't inadvertently bring artillery down on you. And Eric's going to be aggressive. He's curious, is this ELC still here, or have they bailed out, and are we going to be able to take some of this map control back? Very interesting. Oh, there's a Barask on your right, Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, there's a Barask over there to shoot. This is something I talk about a lot as far as paying attention to the mini-map. And this is a great example because people say, me included, look at the mini-map and use the info. All right, well, what the hell does that mean? Well, in this case, as I look down, off to my right, I'm seeing a Barask lit up by the M41. So if I look at that for a second and go, what the heck's going on? Now I'm going to investigate. And I call this camera work. You're going to go, what's going on? Well, what's going on is we could nuke this dude. That's what's going on. So that's the practical application of look at your mini-map. You're not going to stare at the mini-map, nor are you going to stare straight ahead. It's a cross-check. You want to go from one to the other, primarily here, and then every once in a while, what's going on? And people, based on what you're doing, sometimes you're fully involved in what's going on the screen and you don't have time for that. I get that as well. You're in the middle of fighting one or two people. You don't have time for looking down right there. But the more you can bring that mini-map into the cross-check, you might notice stuff like this. And as you get better at it, you'll notice it faster. And you will notice, if you watch the Super Unicoms that stream a lot, it's amazing how fast they'll react to things like that. Absolutely amazing. And that's because their cross-check is faster than us. And their processing of the SA. Ooh. If we can get him. Oh, we're trying to auto-aim. Oh, no. Zoom in. Oh, get him. Okay, there we go. And now we've noticed the Barask. Problem with this position right here is, and I'm assuming we're about to get lit. Let's find out if I am correct. Ooh, what's going on? Hold on. Here we go. We do not. Nice. Now we got lit. Oh, get out of there. Get out of there. Yikes. That's a bless. We got to watch out for that guy. Also, we're probably pretty glad that Barras doesn't have any shells, because he probably would have nuked us. All right, nice. 800 damage, 597 assist. What else do we know, guys? We know that the Blesk is in that corner over there. Blesk my soul. Where is he? Oh, this is super dangerous. I'm really worried that Barras is right down below you. Remember, Barras can carry CVS? But also remember at the beginning of this video, what I said, this is as even 90-esque as you can get without having an even 90. And we got some squawking and bitching going on. Looks like our heavies are doing all right. We're down some hit points here. Be careful. All right. Yeah. See, I don't particularly care for the way you went out of that bush. My problem is if that Blesk is right there, and he's not far from there, that's pretty easy to see you. If you come off this way, you might get up and over. You might even be able to get up and over without giving him any kind of line of sight onto your tank. However, the way you did it, we now know he's not there. At least he wasn't when we started moving, because we haven't been lit. This is super aggressive right here, man. If you're going to push in here, I would go to the left. I want to minimize the amount of people that can see me from that position right up there, because that's where I'd be if I was the Blesk. I'd be sitting in that bush, and I'd catch everyone who's doing what you're doing. It doesn't mean he's there or that he's that smart. And he may have bailed. You know, let's think about this. How many friends does he have? Probably none. So he was there for a while. He knows there's a couple mediums sitting over there. He knows you're sitting over there. He may have 0 friends. In fact, if we count... Oh, there he is. I have no idea how you made that shot. I bet in game you saw highlight and we didn't. But that was pretty amazing. Nicely done. That happens in the replay sometimes. Especially if you do any backups. Backups? If you do any reversing of the replay, a lot of times that stuff kind of glitches out, and the replay will not show if someone has a highlight sometimes. All right, the Barras, he's probably the most dangerous guy in terms of spotting. Of course, we have a bunch of triangles. There he is. Careful, careful, careful. Oh, he's going to see you. I don't know if it's a shot. No, let's just back that up. Watch out for this, by the way. This gets me all the time. You think you're in the bushes, right? Well, it's line of sight. We also don't know where exactly the hit boxes for the bushes are, but if we just take this at face value, this looks very much to me like that's an open spot right there. Now, could there be enough hitbox of camo that it sort of closes off this open area as it appears to us? Potentially. But there's a lot of spots like this that I'll sit in there and we'll get spotted. Let's count this. Probably about right now, depending on when the timer went off for his spotting. 1001, 1002, 1003. I don't think he was spotted from the shot. I could be wrong. Could have been the shot, but I think he was actually seen. When I see stuff like that happening and I can notice bushes to one side or the other, I'll try to fade back into those and put that bush between us. You may have been prioritizing shooting at that point. But that's nice. We got him dead. We got 1,000 damage. We got 846 assists and a kill. All right, where are these guys? We got a Kari. We have a Su-130 times 2. We know one was up there. The T-34 is still fighting. It looks like the T-69 was last seen up there. There he is. All right, so he's up there. Su-130 there. So we still have the missing Su-130 and the Kari. Let's talk about this approach. I like coming through here in this situation and maybe even up along the edge just to keep as many of these bushes between us. You got to be careful because there's quite a few. There's little cliffs and things there. You can really chuck yourself off of it and damage your tank or break your tracks or whatever, roll over, that kind of crap. But if you carefully move through, you can actually sneak all the way up here and spot guys down here before they see you. My concern is there's no artillery, that maybe one of those TDs is sitting up in this corner. That's what I would assume coming into this situation. Remember I said assume worst case scenario? I don't know where the Kari is. I don't know where the other Su-130 is. They're either going to be here, one of them, or up in these ledges up here in front of us. Could be on this back edge, but unlikely at this point based on where all of our tanks are. Because he hasn't been spotted, I'm sort of assuming all of the TDs are up there in their TD spot at about D1, E1, F1. Let's see if I'm right about that. There's still possible there's one off to his left, and he's just got enough camo that that guy didn't see him. There's one of them right there. So where's the Kari? I'd stop and kill this guy. Yeah, I would have stopped. Oh my gosh, okay, nice. He's like, Eric's like, I would not stop and kill him. I'll just keep trucking. Good news with that, the Kari was up there too. Oh my gosh, are we going to get another kill? Nice, he went right at us. All right, all right. Maybe he thought moving would make it a slightly harder shot for the guy if he got a shot off on us. But nice little cleanup at the end right there. We're going to come out with 3 kills, 1,598 damage, 1,926 assist. A super aggressive early position. Be careful about where you put yourself in the bushes. Try not to leave too much of your tank hanging out there, all right? I think I would have bailed out of that a little earlier based on the SA that I got, but you did make a good decision to get out of there. Ran off, repositioned, helped your mediums, which was huge. Took care of a couple Brosks, which was huge. And the Blesk. Got him out of the game, which was massive for your team. Plus the ELC even 90, right? Nice job with that. And then helped move around that flank and gobble up the rest of them. And I like scouts for this end game, which is what Eric just did, to gobble up assist and extra damage because you're fast enough to get in there. The enemy is so outnumbered that even if you are a light little tank, and quite often because you're a light little tank and they see other people, they'll kind of ignore you because they know generally you're not going to nuke them in one shot. They might get a shot at somebody else, and you're harder to hit. So if everyone's sort of gang tackling them, a lot of times it's less likely they take shots at you, and then you can gobble up some of those extra damages. And certainly, because your view range is so good, you're spotting everything and getting all of that assist piled on to the back of the game. Eric, thanks for sending that in. Nice job right there. Good little game, and the TEMU ELC 90. Again, if you can't afford one or don't own one, get yourself a 12T. It's not far off. That's all I've got. Have a good one.